Man, we can't seem to get enough of the mini fixed blades designed for everyday carry. And look at this little guy, the REIFF Knives F3. Taking its inspiration from its iconic parents like the F4 and F5, but shrinking it down to a compact size. Well, in today's video, we are going to unpack this tool. We're going to run up a lot of competitive options because we have a lot in this kind of size range, a lot sporting magnet cut. So we're going to see how this stacks up in design and performance compared to many others on the market currently, to ultimately help you guys determine for yourself if carrying a compact fixed blade even makes sense, and if so, is the F3 the right design start carrying in rotation. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in. All right. So much to get to, so little time with this little fixed blade. And I got to do this right out of the gate because it'll kind of set the tone for this video. Here is the Ontario Wrap Model 2 in AUS steel. God bless you, Ontario. So sad to have seen you gone. And I hope all of you that were working there have found new careers and are doing well. We wish you guys all the best. And truly, the Ontario Wrap Model 2 is a great example of what this REIFF F3 is competing with in the pocket knife realm. They have almost identical cutting edges in their length, 2.65 on the REIFF and similar to the Rat, and then like 2.9, basically 3 inches overall blade length. And then if we actually run up the guards, because you have this giant useless Ricasso here on the Ontario, that was always one issue I had with those, is that, like, you know, they didn't cut this in a little closer, and then you kind of have a choil, but your finger is like on the edge. You're just so far away from the blade. You're actually closer on the REIFF. But anyway, if you actually line up the guards, the REIFF is going to be slightly longer on the handle, and obviously, you know, lots to go there off of there. Now, obviously, ease of carry, that's what a pocket knife that folds brings to the table. What is a pocket fixed blade? Like convenience of carry, maybe not quite as convenient to carry. We're going to talk about that with Kydex sheaths and, you know, all that with some competitive options a little bit later. But durability, redonkulous durability. There's no moving parts. It's a solid piece of metal, therefore allowing you to focus on harder tasks and focus on the task at hand and not on whether or not this liner lock is going to fail on you or, you know, jam up, gunk up, whatever, and be concerned that it's going to cut your finger off. You can just focus on the brutal task at hand and be able to get the job done and then put it back in the sheath and rock and roll. So that is what, right out of the gate, a major factor that might be desirable for certain tasks, for certain scenarios, depending on what environment you're using your knife for. The concept of like a compact fixed blade, it really, I believe, is going to come down to the environment. I mean, when I worked in an office, most of the time, I didn't really see the point in these a lot. But now that I work for myself, I'm, you know, doing stuff around the property. Sometimes I help out friends, you know, at job sites and things like that run their own like construction companies and moving companies and things like that. I see the value of having a fixed blade that's compact over a pocket knife in certain scenarios. But like so today, I'm going to be doing a lot of like yard work. I'm going to be wearing this for that type of work. But right after I'm done filming, my wife and I are celebrating our 13th wedding anniversary this week, and we're going to go out to lunch. We're going to a nice restaurant. We're doing that type of stuff. I'm not carrying this on my belt or in my pocket. I'm carrying something like this, a slim, sleek pocket knife. Still gives me some versatility, but the environment does not require this beefy, durable tool. So it really, I think, comes down to, obviously, are you just a blade addict? Leave a comment below if you are, and you just want to have that in the rotation. But also, like, where do you see yourself using your edge tools more frequently? I think will determine a lot on whether or not something like the REIFF F3 makes sense or not. Now, along with that, the awesome thing is that these are an 1/8 inch thick with a 2/3 high saber grind, beautifully ground in edge geometry, which means that it is redonkulous in the EDC everyday scenario tasks, allowing for great slicing of cardboard, going through all types of cordage, man-made material, doing those type of things, and performing a level of precision that larger, beefier, heavy fixed blades aren't going to offer. Even its big brother, the F4, is not, because it's got a slightly thicker stock, different things like that, the F3 is going to outperform it in the smaller tasks, the precision type of cuts, and even the tip allowing for precision in that way, but still having a level of durability you're not going to have on the tip of, say, an Ontario. Way more durable. And for those who are curious, the F3, I believe it's the XC or CX, I can't remember off the top of my head. The only difference between that version and this version is a thicker tip. The grind actually starts later, making a more like durable tip. I don't think that's necessary on this more compact a tool unless you're literally looking at it as a crowbar. So just for some reference points, if you're looking at both models and you're like, I'm trying to figure out the difference here, that's going to be the major difference between those two REIFF versions. This will also have a 90-degree spine. It literally felt like I was using the striker on my ferrule rod because of how the handle geometry works along with the edge. I mean, it was flamethrower, easy to start sparks, and also do really fine carving tasks. The ease of carving with a tool like this, if you're thinking of it for hiking, backpacking, and camping, is exquisite. You are going to get that level that you won't find with a bigger blade. You know, think of a 6-inch survival knife. This is easily going to out-manipulate it on fine carving, but still have some durability to pound on the spine, do, you know, like a notch, do the things that you need to. You're not going to split anything. I mean, it's kindling, you know, I don't know what you're going to be splitting. You know, it's going to have to be like 1 inch in diameter, which in that case, just throw it on the fire. But you can pound on it to make a particular precision notch or something like that. Now, that leads us into the two different steel variants that are currently available, Rockwell, that we'll talk about here in just a moment. But I do want to give a quick shout out to the viewers here. I do invite you to like and subscribe. There's a little link popping up. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit the bell icon so you can be notified every week when I put up new content just like this, breaking down gear and equipment so you can make wise choices. That's what I'm doing in this video, unpacking the concept so you can go, yeah, I want to try that out, or yeah, this is the right tool I've been looking for, or nope, that is definitely not what I'm interested in. That's the goal with this video. So it is you, the viewers, in partnership with our regular sponsors that help me to click record and make content like this. And I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is Hardside Hydration and their Swig Rig systems. What? I'm just staying hydrated. Because here's the deal, guys. Dane and Dustin, the founders of this American-based company, really have come up with a solution that myself and friends and family were looking for years when we would go hiking, backpacking, and camping. Giving us hands-free hydration using a hydration hose so we don't have to pull our water bottles out of our backpacks, but attaching it to a rigid water bottle instead of those cumbersome, difficult to clean, and potentially leaky water bladders that take up space inside your pack. These Swig Rig systems, the original being able to attach to most wide mouth water bottles like a 32 or 48 ounce Nalgene, allow you to drink and then quick disconnect when you get to camp to use around your campsite. Way easier to clean, less likely to leak and cause issues inside your pack. And then there's the ultralight Swig Rig, which can attach to 28mm mouth water bottles, say like a Smart bottle, when you want to cut down on weight and not carry maybe a super heavy, dense water bottle like a Nalgene. So it gives you options, but it gives you a ton of capability. And I'm just really proud to have them as a regular sponsor here at the channel because they're giving a solution to a problem that many of us have found over the years. So I'll have a link popping up right here as well as in the description box below over to the Hardside Hydration website so you can start exploring all the different options. I also have an exclusive 10% off promo code that will help you save a little bit of scratch so that you guys can better streamline your hydration systems when you're going out on all of your adventures. Well, surprise, surprise, Sepia Magna Cut. El Magnificato is the variant of steel I have at drop of the batch. There's also a 3V variant available in just a moment because I've owned 3V and MagnaCut from REIFF knives in the past. I will share with you what you can expect out of each steel so you can make a better choice for your environment or needs. But since we're talking about availability, the drop is happening on September 27th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is actually a pre-launch video. I had reached out to REIFF Knives a while back, said, hey, when available, I want to try out this F3. I'm running some competitive options, see what it can do. And they were willing to send a sample, and I have my affiliate link. That's it. So that's popping up. That's in the description box below as well, my affiliate link, as well as the other links to the other competitive options I'm going to be running in here momentarily. So if you're watching this anytime over the 12 p.m., after 12 p.m. Eastern time on the 27th. Hop on over. They sell out quick. And then it may be a couple months, before these variants become available again. And I'll do a repost and let everyone know as well. And since we're talking about that, we'll talk price. The MagnaCut steel versions are $265. The 3V versions are $245. So actually pretty good value when we look at like some other stuff, that is available out there here that I'm gonna run in momentarily. But let's go ahead and talk about the MagnaCut itself first. MagnaCut is a stainless steel, and it's got like the trifecta of a good level of toughness, good level of edge retention, and a good level of rust resistance. So this is rock welded at 61 to 63, which is important because that affects toughness and durability. And just for an idea here is the previously reviewed BENCHMADE DACIAN MagnaCut as well. And that's got a 60 to 62 rock weld, which is kind of low in my opinion for particularly this size of knife. That would be fine on like a big survival knife. But for this compacted blade, they opted for toughness over edge retention. So you're going to get better edge retention out of the REIFF. You could argue that the BENCHMADE will be slightly tougher because of that slightly lower rock weld. The DACIAN has some really cool things going for it. It is a slimmer handle, feels like a pocket knife basically. And the sheath is total garbage. The sheath on the REIFF is much better. Sorry, Tommy the trail dog barking at a squirrel somewhere. But the sheath definitely is something to be desired, and these go for like $270 to $300 depending on the variant. So just giving you some perspective there. And then so MagnaCut compared to 3V. 3V will be tougher. That's the main trade-off, is that you're going to get better toughness out of a 3V steel. On this small knife, I don't really know what you're doing to require 3V. And though 3V is very rust resistant for that type of steel, MagnaCut will be better rust resistance between the 3V and the MagnaCut. MagnaCut will hold its edge longer than 3V. Still pretty easy to put an edge on. 3V might be a little easier to put an edge on from my experience. So just kind of give you some idea, food for thought there. And that kind of leads us into the next leg up that a compact fixed blade would have over a pocket knife is usually ergonomics. Not every time, because like that DACIAN is so thin, it's like a pocket knife right there. But the REIFF knives is almost double in thickness. Just to give us some perspective, here's my caliper, thinking of firearms, I guess. 0.42, right? On the thickness of that wrap. Maximum thickness, tapers a little bit on the other side, but 0.82. So we're talking about double your pleasure, double your fun, man, on the REIFF ergonomically. And that adds to like all the contouring, obviously. It's not flat. The size of most pocket knives are gonna be flat. You might get a little contouring. Here's like a AD10, dwarfs that thing. But you're gonna get some contouring there, not as much as on the REIFF, but that gives you something to, the benefit to that is that you have a full grip on a small knife to be able to do like a push cut if you're doing a feather stick, be able to do reverse pulls if you're doing woodworking, but also like you're going through rubber and like, tough, durable material. You're really able to grip with confidence, and you don't have a pocket clip biting into you, doing that type of stuff. So if the knife is in your hand for an extended period of time regularly, that's where something like this really makes sense. If it's just a quick cut, who cares? Like whoosh, one box open, okay, whatever. It's not that big a deal. But if you're gripping the tool and you're like, okay, I'm like cutting for like 5 minutes, something like this is going to totally make more sense. And I know some people are going to be asking, how does this, compare even to like the Ursus Cub in MagnaCut from White River? I ditched the Cub. I don't have that in rotation anymore. This is more ergonomic because it doesn't have that exposed bird beak like the other one did. So it fills out my large size hands. I wear large size gloves. And from knuckle to knuckle, we're looking at 3 1/4 inches. That's what it does. Got that exposed lanyard right there. So that's excellent that they really did that right there. No hot spots. Now the Kydex sheath on this is really well done. Good tension. There's a little bit of rattle. Excellent, not gonna fly out or anything like that. And then it does have a belt attachment with a slight drop. You can adjust it like 6 ways to Sunday. You can take it off, put a belt clip like what's it called, an ulti clip on, like this right here. That would be my preferred way to carry it probably. If you are somebody who likes doing a lot of outdoor stuff, that's where this makes sense with the belt clip. It would have been great to either have an option for an ulti clip or even came with an ulti clip. I think probably more people would end up just the way people are carrying their fixed blades now. And this is what's really cool. At first I was like, pancake, that's a lot of profile. But here is my buddy Aaron from HOUGHTON Outdoors, his CICOTTE taco design. In order for him to be able You can just see how thin, you know, the stock blade design is on that. USA made, he's making all those himself. Currently with CPM 154, and I think those are like 150. I'll have a link over to his page with him and his brother Nate. And this one though, just for profile sake, I just want to run in here. You can see there's only probably about a quarter-inch difference because you have to have so much extra space for the ulti-clip. So actually this is, even though it's a pancake, it's about the same. You can't really get much smaller than this for a kydex sheath, is kind of the point that I'm getting at. So with an ulti-clip, you can screw those on, boom, right there, lock it in, and you could pocket carry that thing, no problem in that regard. So obviously this is gonna just slide into your pocket and not take up as much real estate, but like that. So there you go. So that's going to be sticking out, but that means speed of deployment. So you got to think about that as well. Do you wear gloves a lot at work or with your tasks, or do you just like to be able to take it out and use it really quick? Well, a fixed blade is always going to be a faster deployment than you pulling a pocket knife out and then hitting the thumb stud and deploying it. We could argue maybe, you know, this auto is close, but again, I still got to carry a sheath and do that and carry it on my person somehow, versus, you know, a pocket clip. So let's run in the Circadian, since we just reviewed that, and I don't know if they're still available, but the Circadian in MagnaCut, about $285. So we're looking at like $20 more. Higher grind, way higher grind. So if you like a lot of like slicing, and that's kind of the name of the game for you, like the sliceability of the tool, the Circadian is even slicier. The REIFF's tip is obviously more, you know, precise for stabbing, and you are going to get like a kind of a fuller handle, much bigger profile though with the leather sheath. And I think there is a leather sheath variant. I think I'm going to run that in. I believe you can get a belt sheath for this leather as well, which is dope. But there's an ulti clip on that thing. Super cool, super cool. But just to give you like pocket profile, if you were to put this in your pocket, obviously a lot larger profile there. But the Circadian, very slicey. Probably between the two, I would carry the Circadian more just because of the even like beefier handle and the broader, slightly longer blade. So if you were to ask me between the two, personally, not that I'm really like, this has grown on me a lot, but probably between the two, the Circadian is gonna probably get more pocket time. I do appreciate you guys hanging with me today. I hope it's been fun and entertaining. I do invite you to check out the other video popping up, to subscribe again if you haven't. And until next time, always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.